You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial Christon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I am your host, Derrial Christon, and here joining me are the dancing duo, Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
What is that?
I don't have room because he's cropping, so I'm just like, okay.
That's what some like Karate Kid.
Wax on,
Wax off. All right, we also have DJ Jesse J, who's giving us all the moves.
What's up?
It's Friday.
I have to figure out why I do that. Only on this show do I ever. What's up?
That's true.
That's right, because you get hyped when you see us.
Because I do
That's
lots
why.
of shows with
It
you
is
and you
like
don't do
He
that.
gets real excited because
Just on this one, Derrial, you just bring it out.
I bring out the excitement. That's right. All right, we got an exciting show today.
You know
actually,
you do, brother.
Yes, I do. You got. What does that mean? That's real. All right, we're gonna talk about that
He
later.
got his Shaun King glasses on, yo.
That's right. I got my Shaun King glasses on, apparently. And I also have a lot of topics that we're going to talk about today, including controversy sparks over the race of Mr. Shaun King, who Jesse just mentioned. Real Housewives of Atlanta adds a transgender to the cast.
Hey.
Say what?
And there are updates on the charges that have been filed in Ferguson, Missouri, a year
Lord,
after
have
Michael
mercy.
Brown's death, which is just crazy. But first, we're going to read the results from last week's Buzz Meter question, which was, are you going to see Straight Outta Compton? We obviously had a big conversation about that.
Yes,
we
we
all
did.
saw it. And 74% of you said yes, and 26% of you said no. I was actually really surprised by that 26%.
Maybe they're under the age of 18.
Or
16, right?
Okay,
For
well,
rated
maybe,
R?
yeah.
Or they are not feeling the parts of Straight Outta Compton that were left out.
Right. That all the controversy
Which you
this
can
week
check
out of
They
that.
that
didn't
tea
feed the narrative.
on the beat.
Right.
Yes, you can. But our contest last week, Derrial, I think you actually won.
Oh, what was the contest?
Because remember, we all bet like how much money the show would make, the movie would make,
Yes.
and the person that came closest without going over was you.
And what prize do I get?
You get the prize of getting
Just
to say you
knowing
won
the fact.
something in life.
All right, I expect
And
a bottle of
that-
tequila or something.
Oh,
It was my
okay.
birthday this week, so at least
That's
you guys
true.
could,
That's
give
why
me
we're
a present
celebrating.
That's
or
why we're
something.
going
Add tequila.
tomorrow.
All right, so first drink on you.
Telling people.
Sure.
All right, that's
But
great.
that includes your birthday gift.
And what's the Buzz Meter question today? Because you guys don't have it written down on my paper, so one of you guys read it.
We have to write it down
Go
for
ahead,
you.
what was it? Is there?
Is there still a need or purpose for HBCUs? Because they're on the struggle bus right now.
And we're going to talk
it
about that
later.
today.
Yeah.
But first, we're going to talk about trending topics with DJ Jesse J.
My anaconda don't want none unless you. All right.
Okay.
So the reason I'm singing that
So you
is
popping
because.
that. Courtney.
Sorry, I felt that.
She had a little pop over
I had
there.
it.
Little
Okay.
pop.
So Azalea Banks, when she saw the unveiling at Madame Tussauds of Nicki Minaj's wax figure, said how disrespectful. Of course, white people would take the first female in hip hop who got her own wax figure and put her in this position. Are you kidding me? How degrading. And well, she may not have been a little off because pictures have been circulating with this wax figure in which people have been, mainly this one of this man putting his face in her ass.
There were several faces
Several
in her ass.
faces in the
and in
ass.
the front. And
Peeing in the front.
Peeing in
Yeah.
the front.
There was a lot.
Hitting it
Yeah.
doggy style, doing
Yeah.
the doo-doo browns, a whole bunch
There's a
of
lot.
situations. And well, Madame Tussauds has taken notice of this, and they are now going to be adding extra security. Now, this is, I just want to say this. This is not the first time that this happened. I've worked at Madame Tussauds for many years. And
People are always
The Rock,
defiling.
yeah, I mean, I feel like I did some things to The Rock. And, you know, when you're in a room with
Oh my
something,
goodness.
when you're in a room with something for so long, and you're like,
You might rub on it.
how much are these wax figures? Like, how detailed are these wax figures? You know, you might want
So
to
you
take a
want to
peek.
discover.
They're not very detailed.
There
Just
you
saying
go.
that. But we also had like an usher one, right? And like we would come into the room and people would have just undone the belts, shirts
Oh.
open.
Really?
I mean, they look really real, and like in certain
So
pictures. at
Yeah,
certain
they do, but
angles-
some of them look either really exactly like the person or
Yeah.
they look completely opposite of the
Yeah.
person. Sometimes there's not an
No,
in-between.
I'm telling you, I used to have to do this red carpet one in The Rock. his eyes just, it would freak me out. And then at night when they shut some of the lights down, just the like floodlights are on, walking through there, it's freaking
Creepy.
Prince is just the weirdest one.
I was gonna say I like Prince because it's actually his height,
No, yeah, and it's scary though.
and I like the Halle Berry one too, but that's different. All right,
So they put
back
some
to Nicki
security
Minaj.
for Nicki Minaj, so there y'all have it. You was right, Azalea.
But see, her face looks a little weird to me though.
It's a little Lucy-Lou for me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And
And you can't blame them. I mean, technically, she did that pose.
she did that pose,
so-
and she's not mad about it, by the way.
No.
She's tweeted about it that she likes it.
Do
so.
you guys think like they could have picked it? Because
I mean-
remember we talked. I don't know if it was you guys, but they
We-
talk about that they change their clothes every couple months.
Yeah.
But in this position, you can't really, unless she gets her hands in the Hall of Fame on the Hollywood Walk thing. And I was like, they can put her in whatever dress she wears and make it look like she's putting her hands in.
I mean, they could change her bikini up a little, you know.
But does it offend you, Courtney?
Does it offend me?
As a black woman.
I mean, no, I'm not offended, but I do think it's distasteful. But I thought the album that pose, I thought
That she
that was
did,
distasteful. And if she did it and she was fine with it, like I'm not mad at Madame Tussauds for taking what became a big deal that she decided to do and
And she
making it an
argued with
icon.
MTV saying it was such a pop culture phenomenon. So
there you go. So
I mean, sex sells. This is what she has grown a lot of her image off of.
I mean,
I
just a
I feel
black
like
woman and basically an animal. Like I just
feel like it should have been more of the Anaconda cover versus this one, because this one, listen, I like it, but then it is sort of disrespectful a little bit. A little bit. I mean,
but even
out of all the
cover,
poses,
are you kidding me? People would be underneath that, like.
yeah, I guess, but this is just super sexual.
I just spilled
you know
my
what I
water.
mean? It's just super sexual.
I
So
can't.
There's no winning with either.
there's no
of them.
winning. But listen,
So-
if she's all right with it, I'm all right with it.
All right. Well.
And they have changed it too. They're changing it.
They said they were putting like decorations.
They're putting
around
decorations
it too,
around
like,
it,
to
yeah.
keep people from being
Yeah,
able to,
because they
like,
thought
hop
the
up on
pictures of
it.
what people were doing were too
Because people
sexual.
were humping it.
Yeah.
Like,
But how can I mean honestly though,
I mean, that's what they had to expect. Come on.
and they do it with other statues too, but this one's just asking for it. Like you know how many girls in front of the Usher one would be like,
but if I were Nicki, I don't know. Obviously,
I just think somebody's got a real sense of humor too.
right? If you were Nicki Minaj, it's
It's just,
not even
I
a
just, like,
rational
that's tacky.
thing to
Like,
say.
whatever. Moving on.
All right,
All right, moving on. So Twitter went ham because a website by the name of Breitbart, they had claimed that the Black Lives Matter, Shaun King, the head of Black Lives Matter, who started some of the protests,
He's an activist.
well, basically came out to say that they did some research and figured out that he might be a doppelganger, like our little Miss Rachel.
Numero dos.
This article came out basically stating that his mother and father are both white, which, if you are to look deeper into it, you will see on his birth certificate that there is someone by the name of Jeffrey Wayne King, who is his father and on birth certificate. But however, Shaun has had so much backlash from this that he's had to come out and make some statements, one being that the man on the birth certificate is not his biological father. Did it just sound like an ocean just came in?
Yeah,
It did.
but it's the AC. Praise the Lord.
It did.
So he basically said that is not his real father. And
It's
that
one of
it's-
those days, guys.
It's one of
Sorry,
those
it
Fridays.
is
Sorry.
that Friday. He also came out to say that the reports are lies, but it's not my biological father, and I want to protect my mother, and not give detailed information on the affair. Apparently, him and all of his family, all of his brothers and sisters,
skeletons.
have different parents. So.
So he did give the tea on his mama.
Yeah, he
even
did.
though
Did he really
said-
say affair though? He kind of alluded to the affair, but did he actually say affair?
He alluded to
Yeah.
it being an affair, and that he didn't want to put his mother's business out without, like, he's saying like there was an affair. She did step out. However, he's not going to give names or anything like that. What do you guys think about this? Do we care? Are we tired of this? Are we?
I just don't even know what to think. Like, what's going on?
Are
in
we
the
looking at
world?
him thinking he white?
I mean, he could be white, he could be mixed.
We come in
like,
all
you just
colors
don't
and shades.
know.
And then his
You just
wife
don't know.
came out and wrote this
She made a
whole
statement. I actually have it.
situation.
Yeah, her name is Ray King, and what she says is, regarding his race, he has never lied, not once. His story is beautifully difficult and painful, and I've actually encouraged him to tell it publicly because it is a unique expression of this country's ridiculous history with race. She said, but it is his story on his terms. When he's ready to tell it, out of respect for his mother, he will.
Mama was in love with a black man. Had to stay
I'm in love with a black man.
I mean, what? I mean, do you, brother? If he has not, like, specifically lied, then keep your business private, like, whatever.
Yeah, but here's this story actually sort of confuses me because the fact now they're really looking into the fact that when he was in high school, he got into a fight, and he's from Kentucky, and he said something in reference to it was a race-related fight, and it was a hate crime is what they were calling it, and so that's what he called it, and then his family saying it wasn't a hate crime. He's white. His dad is white. So, and then he also said that he got beat up by like a posse of people. And then there's reports that it was really just him and somebody else. I mean, there's a lot of weird things that are coming in the story.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, if it comes out that you've been lying about all this stuff, then it is a problem.
Boy
like,
who cries wolf.
But how do you?
Well, here is my thing. My only problem with it, I was watching CNN and Don Lemon was talking about this because he was saying, you love saying that,
Just because
he's so brilliant. Yes, he is. But he was saying
that's my fault, baby fault.
First of all, that he kind of could relate to Shaun because he said that he is a prodigy of his birth certificate saying a certain man's name, but it's not really his dad.
Okay, Lamone.
So. You know, there was
not the issue, though.
I know, but that is sort of the issue in one regard because that's kind of what Shaun is saying. You know,
so Don is white.
Don is white. No, that is not what Don is saying.
A lemon.
That is not what Don is saying. But then he was also speaking about the credibility.
Yes,
here's my thing. I have no problem with you being white or whatever race you are and being the head of something that you support and love. Black Lives Matter. If you are a white person and want to support that and bring in money like Shaun has, you know what? Go for it.
You better work, bitch.
You better work. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. My problem with it, though, it loses its credibility if what you claim to be is not the truth.
Or especially if your parents are like totally disregarding it.
Right.
But at the same time, if Mama was a Rolling Stone,
that's what I'm saying.
She's not gonna be like, yo, his daddy black.
That's what I'm saying. This story's not over. We're gonna find out more about this because when he decides to tell the story about whatever the mom did, and
this
maybe
is actually Rachel's brother.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of criticism for that too, because they're saying how come he didn't get the same pressure that Rachel did, because Rachel inevitably had to leave her post, and they're saying how come he's not kind of getting that same pressure that Rachel did.
Well, currently he has not been proven to have been a straight up liar. Like, there's a possibility that he is of multiple ethnic
and he's saying
backgrounds.
biracial. She's saying
she said she was black, and she definitely knew.
I mean, but if you're white and you're saying you're biracial,
she
it's
knew
still
she
the same
purchased
thing.
that micro break.
But that's if that is proven.
I'd rather her have said that she was biracial.
Well,
actually.
at this time, he hasn't been proven fully to be a white person that's not mixed. So Rachel straight up said she was black and definitely knew she was not. So that's why she got a lot of heat. But good luck, girl.
Good luck. Good luck, Shaun. We look forward to seeing how this story develops, though.
Shaun.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that all you got for us?
That is all I have. But whatever you guys are watching on TV, make sure you check out our sister site, AfterBuzz TV. Whatever your favorite TV show is, as soon as it's done, head over to AfterBuzz TV, and we'll be buzzing about it.
All right, cool. Thank you, DJ Jesse J. We're going to move on to gossip with Courtney Stewart.
Speaking of buzz, the buzz of one of our favorite shows, guys, Real Housewives of Atlanta. They have started shooting. Season 8, and word on the street is one of the new members of the cast is a transgender model, makeup artist, and beauty consultant.
And former child star, too, what I read, too. I don't know what show that was, but they said former child star.
Really?
There you go. Her name's Amaya Scott, guys. Her name's Amaya Scott, formerly known as Arthur Scott, I believe. So she's been rumored to have been romantically linked to Soulja Boy, Wiz Khalifa.
What?
And currently, Bravo has not made any formal announcement of what her role is in terms of if she's an actual housewife, is she a friend of a housewife, or is she somebody that kind of just shows up. But she was definitely shooting at the hair care launch that Kenya's hair is coming out, guys. Her hairline's finally coming out.
But I thought her hair was
I thought
real.
her hair was real.
Her hairline is finally coming out.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Her hair care products, I guess is a better way to say that. And so they were shooting at a launch party she was having for the hair care line, and Amaya was there, and of course Kim Fields, who's joined the cast, and supposedly we also have the return of a few other people.
That's right.
Who've been gone for some time. Miss Sheree Whitfield is back.
Sheba Sheree.
And Marlo Hampton is coming back. So they're hoping to spice it up because Nene is apparently still gone and hasn't really signed on to show back up for random appearances. So they got to try to give us something interesting, and they think Miss Amaya Scott might be the one to do it.
Well, I don't believe that she's going to get a peach.
Oh, she's definitely
Yeah,
gonna
that
get
was
a
the
peach.
question
Yeah.
if she's going to get a peach.
No way. I think that this is, from what I heard, is that they're testing it out to see how she does on the show, and she's going to come on as like
A friend.
Yeah, a friend or something, like a Miss J or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
See how it works out. Then maybe she can shack up with somebody and then get a peach.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
there you go.
there you go. And this is a week of transgenders being in the public eye
Child,
because
like-
Obama hired his first transgender in the White House. So,
Well,
hey,
there you go.
you know,
It's in the press. It's
in the
hot,
press.
and people want to see it. So
it's good TV.
yeah, they're hoping for some good ratings. So
Honey,
good luck.
Caitlyn might be the new black because she might be going to jail.
True
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
the truth, and that's sad. But speaking of might be going to jail,
That was perfect, actually.
Columbus Short.
That was really good.
it's back in the news, guys.
You just made Jesse had an outer body experience, though.
Because I just can't.
I don't even want to talk about it. So I'm literally like, I have a sentence about it.
I'm
Columbus Short,
delirious at this point in the day. So just what happened?
the very talented,
Oh boy.
Beautiful.
beautiful black man, formerly known as Columbus Short. 'Cause
Yeah.
The real Columbus Short, please stand up.
formerly
Because
known
we
as-
don't know where you are.
Formerly known as the second black man from an ABC hit show that disappears
That
after
disappears
they
and
messed
ran
up.
away. Well,
Yeah.
he hadn't really disappeared, y'all, because apparently he's got an album coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at a release party for his album at Universal City Walk in LA.
Stop it, people. Come on.
And while he was at his own album release party, the bounty hunter rolled up and arrested him.
I can't. They need a TV show.
That's how we all feel about this whole story. He got arrested again. There was a warrant out, apparently. Bounty hunter came and got him. He tried to argue with the bounty hunter and say he didn't understand, and that's why he should be allowed to not be arrested. And he was arrested all on camera. Everybody saw, because he was out.
TMZ didn't
As
get
he
their
would.
hands on
TMZ
it?
got it.
Oh, they did?
No, they definitely got it. They broke the story.
What's messed up about media, though, is that that's so planned. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all, they could have got him at his home before. Why do they have to go to his party?
Well, they
no,
knew
because they
he would
knew
be
he was.
there.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
it comes
you
down to.
know,
It's
I'm
like
sure-
when you get
You
served
don't
with
know.
papers.
I'm sorry, the bounty hunters are look. They always park places and are looking
But
at what you're
home,
doing.
they can't like barge into your house and grab you off your property.
You can
yeah, but
pretend it's
grab
like
you
a
as you're walking to the
Jehovah.
door
That's
or
much
going
more.
to get your mail.
If you come out and you see a bounty hunter, you're gonna run back in the house and lock the door.
Get in your car.
I mean, I just feel like it's the deterioration of the black man conspiracy.
What is he? What did he do?
I don't
He did
remember.
something.
He did something, but I'm saying they didn't have to go to the man's. Can he get him after the album release party? Let him have one
Bitch,
moment
come on,
of joy.
Sierra got served on stage in the middle of her concert.
Because they know they have to get you where they know they can get you with the least amount of resistance. He's in public. There's a whole bunch of people around. They know he's gonna be there. They roll up and they take him.
I guess.
So Columbus, I don't know what's going on. You're 32 years old.
You're coming up a little short.
You're talented. You're beautiful, and you're failing.
Is this off of the beating thing?
It's off the
Yes.
the domestic
The domestic abuse
dispute.
thing.
And, yeah. Well,
From one hit show
note
to
to everybody: go to your court dates. That's the lesson learned.
Go to your court dates. Pay your fines.
Pay your fines because they will come
And
get you.
don't try to pretend like, oh, I didn't know or I forgot, because they don't care.
They don't. They
care.
will stack you with
They
an
just don't care.
$895
He
ticket.
knows.
I sure
He's
do.
been there.
And please believe Jesse Janedy gonna raise hell down at this period court.
That's right.
Sorry,
well, if you
that
want
was
to
a
see,
personal experience. I just had to-
yeah, you went there with that. You had a moment. I felt the energy to the left of me. But if you want to experience Jesse Janedy having more of these moments, you can go to Black Hollywood Live on iTunes and look at many shows that Jesse's on, including The Beat, which he hosts.
the face of the network,
He's the
guys.
face of the network right now. Who knew?
Wait, which I do just want. Can we please just say this right now, people?
Let's just address this.
I
because
am
all-
white.
You're Greek.
I'm Greek, and
Stop
I just
lying.
love
You know
Black
you're Puerto
Hollywood.
Rican.
No, we're not
Shaun
saying
King,
that.
stop lying.
Because I don't want Bossip to write up. This boy been up here. That black man been telling everyone he Puerto Rican.
He is
I'm
not
not Puerto
black.
Rican. I am Greek. 100% love being
Well,
Greek.
technically, you are black
Why?
because everybody's from the motherland.
No, honey.
Everybody is.
Even though the Greeks still want
you
to
are
believe
ethnic.
they're only from
Honey,
Greece.
the Greeks, no.
Y'all know,
we were born
you
like
started on the
seeds,
African
just planted
continent.
out, honey. We fell from Mount Olympus.
Y'all came
He
from the
said Mount
continent
Olympus.
of Africa.
See, this is the type of thing that you need to go to iTunes and look up all the shows that Jesse Janedy is on because you're going to get this style of entertainment.
Hey, please not
so
promote me.
Please do that. Please do that. The Greek of Black Hollywood Live.
The black Greek.
I'm the
The
token,
black-
I'm
the
the
black
token white boy.
Of Black Hollywood Live. Please go to all his shows on iTunes. Give him a 5 and give the other shows a 5. And if you
Yes.
don't want to give those shows a 5, let us know why because we will continue to figure out how to give you the best programming that we can. But please support us. We are building our subscribers. We're building our views. If you guys love us, let people know. Let people know that you love Black Hollywood Live and Jesse Janedy, the Greek. All right, we're going to move on to the E-Euro Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Our web story spotlight of the week.
Well, it's the month of August, obviously, and it has been a year since the death of Michael Brown. And there's been a lot of controversy that has restarted in everything that happened last summer with him, because obviously there was protesting that happened and people were arrested. There were police officers and all these shields and tanks and gas, and
Craziness.
you would have thought we were in World War 15. And a lot of these protests were actually very peaceful, is what a lot of people have complained about. And what has happened since then is that recently several of the protesters a year later have started to get summons for their charges. So it's really starting to be a crazy situation because people are like, why is this legal? You know, it's a year later. You know, a lot of these people were individuals who were protesting. A lot of the people who were also in the bigger groups who were protesting have started to get these summons. And it's starting to spark a lot more controversy back in the city after it seemed like it was kind of starting to die down and things were slowly getting back to normal. Well, there's a statement that has been made, a statement issued by the American Civil Liberties Union, the Advancement Project, and Arch City Defenders said the arrest action is a blatant violation of the constitutional rights and appalling misuse of our already overburdened court system. A lot of people also are fearful that it's going to be some type of retaliation because they're saying if you're starting to put these summons to these protesters who theoretically there could be some lawsuits that they could turn around and say because of the way they were treated by the police, this is going to open up a bigger umbrella to this entire situation.
They're
What do
just
you
trying
guys
to
think
get
about
money.
it?
That's all it is. After dealing with LA out here and what the situations are, just with this kind of basic stuff, I can just imagine all they're trying to do is here's a group of people now. We can go in there. We probably won't get all of them, but we can rape about half of them and make some sort of income from that. That's really where I think it's coming from because there's no reason. If this was a peaceful protest, why are they being summoned?
What do you think, Courtney?
I mean, my understanding of it is like, okay, so the people that were arrested at the time are now being charged with the crimes that they were arrested for. To me, okay, assuming from a legal perspective, they were arrested, so eventually charges would come down.
But a year later?
Processing takes time, like it happens. But my thing is, it's one of those times like I'm all about like we have laws, we should follow our laws, like whatever. But at some point, like the laws and common sense may come into conflict, and I feel like common sense would say at this time, whatever charges should be dropped unless there was somebody specifically that like, you know,
shooting fire.
That's
or
exactly
weapons,
my
that kind of
point.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what the process would be in that town or whatever for whoever, what judge could do whatever, if the DA needs to say, you know what, I'm not going to press charges and that's why these people aren't going to be charged with anything. Like, because I would think that after the incident that happened with Michael Brown, then the protests, then the government doing the investigation into the city of Ferguson and seeing the corruption in the police department and all of those things, it would seem to me that intelligence would say, we gonna put a pass on this one.
Right.
And it's not worth the cost. And I don't really know how the city would make really money out of this. If anything, it's costing the city more money to process all these charges and to go through any kind of court hearings for anything. So it's costing the taxpayers, who are the people that they are arresting and charging, more money because that's their tax money going towards this stuff. So to me, it doesn't make any sense overall. I'm sure there's one or two people or a few people that maybe were really doing some ish that they deserve to be arrested for and should be charged with something. But the idea that they're saying everybody that they arrested is going to be charged, to me, was absolutely absurd.
Literally, the CNN line was everyone arrested in Ferguson.
There's no number?
No. Not as of yet.
So, and then that also could be media hype. So I don't know to what extent it all actually is. But to me, intelligence would say to anybody, like, this ain't something we need to do in our community right now. Drop the charges and move on.
But here's my thing. I agree with you, Courtney, in the sense of if people did something wrong, if you were throwing things at the cops, if you were shooting bullets in the air and you were a part of that portion of the protest, absolutely, you have to suffer your consequences. But they were literally saying that a lot of these people were just kind of standing on the sidewalk protesting. They were just, they were in a group and they were protesting, but they weren't doing anything theoretically wrong.
Yeah.
And why open up this window again? We are not in a time where this needs to happen again. You know what I mean? This is going to cause a bigger issue. Why do you want to start that fire again there? That, like, to me, it's like that's stupidity thinking.
It goes beyond logic to me.
It just seems like
it's
the fires,
disrespectful to me.
Yeah, but I mean, it just seems like the media is starting fires across the board. I mean, even down to the Shaun King situation. It's just like.
But what's the benefit to this? What are you trying to accomplish out of this by opening up this wound again? They're calling it, literally, media is calling this a scab.
I really think segregation is the overall goal. I think to keep everybody separated. I don't know. My conspiracy theory, it's there. And that's what I personally believe. Because none of this stuff makes sense. It's just like all of a sudden, no, things have been happening for the longest time, and now all of a sudden the media is just painting. It's like, oh, well, this young black child got shot, this person got shot, this person got shot. Well, why haven't you been talking about this for the past 10 to 15 years?
Right. No, you're right.
And now all of a sudden everything is about this racially charged everything. It's like, well, this person's racist, this person's not black now, this person's this. Now we're going to look under with a microscope. It's just freaking weird.
And then also you're going to do it on basically the anniversary of Michael Brown's death, which was August 9th. And now
it's just rubbing dirt in their face.
It's just rubbing dirt. You know what I mean? It's rubbing alcohol on the wound. You know what I mean?
But speaking to your conspiracy theory.
What you got?
I don't think it's any coincidence, personally, that all this is all sort of manifesting itself so often and so regularly in the last 2 years of an Obama presidency.
I'm waiting for him to speak out on this, though.
Well, I don't.
He hasn't said. I haven't seen anything about him saying anything.
I feel like it's sort of a setup to show, like, see the chaos that happens when the black man's in the office, and he hasn't done anything, and now it's time to vote, and people are like, well, he obviously couldn't do anything, and black people are mad at Obama too. So, like, great, don't he hasn't done shit. Let's vote on this side because they're trying to whatever. So,
setting it up for the next situation.
I just feel like it's kind of.
It's sad.
I'm with you.
It's sad.
Conspiracy all up in my head.
Because the chaos has definitely always existed, and these people have been suffering, which was shown by those freaking DOJ reports, and was revealed by Obama's presidency, which we have not had prior to now. Like, why is it surprising, or why is it the case that we have never inspected our police or held them to any sort of accountability in terms of on a federal level, really?
Yeah. It would cost
statistically,
too much money.
It costs too much money.
Well, this costs freaking money,
by
too.
the way, poor policing in minority communities has existed pretty much from the start of policing in this country. Like, It's not a new thing, like police brutality in minority communities. Like, that's existed during Jim Crow, it existed during slavery, like it's
straight out of Compton.
It hasn't changed.
So, whatever, I don't know. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm moving to Barbados.
I know that's right.
I'm coming with you.
Me too. I'm moving with my family in Haiti.
I was just gonna say.
It may not be. All right, it may not be. But the last story.
Come to Barbados or not?
I'll come with that. All right, the last story today that's also has a lot of struggle and that's in the news right now is HBCU universities. So there has been some information about how there has been a lot of decline with students that have been attending and graduating to those universities. And in comparison to HBCUs versus regular universities and Ivy Leagues, there's been a just lackluster lessened amount of black students graduating from these universities. Now, the report shows that, one, like I mentioned, graduation rates at HBCUs are on the decline. On average, it's 59% that is graduating from these universities, where it used to be 70%, versus some of the students that are at the Ivy League universities, there's a 90% graduation rate versus the HBCUs. Fewer students are choosing to attend HBCUs. They said fundraising is a major problem as well for HBCUs. For example, Brown University receives $3.2 billion in funding versus Howard, which is actually at the top tier of the African American universities, obviously, and it's the richest one out of all of them, and it receives $586 million. That's a huge difference. We can all calculate that. Also, reports predict that the number of HBCUs will fall from 104 to 35 in the future. Experts believe that there's a post-racial society that's assisting in the HBCU downfall. What do you guys feel about that?
I mean, we hear it. I mean, Raven Simone on the video, she be talking about her millennials. And I just feel like the younger generation is growing up in a place where it's not important to be around your own, I guess, in that sense of it. And I look at it as different generations. I mean, when I look at like my family and my parents, my great grandparents and all that, it was, oh, you know, we want you to only hang out with the Greek kids, and it was very trying to keep it in the Greeks. I mean, me and my brother were like, girl, I ain't checking for that, you know. So, and I think we're moving in a generation where millennials are like looking at this like, no, you know, I don't want to categorize myself, and we want to hang out with all of my friends. I don't care. I don't want to put it in a, you know, that's where I'm looking at it from, as far as where the numbers could be. And
also, I want to hear what you have to say, Courtney, but the HBCUs initially were created to educate African Americans when they couldn't get the education at these other places. Elsewhere. But now, that's changed.
I mean, that's what integration did in general to black communities and black business and that kind of thing. Like, once you are allowed in those other spaces, and there's a certain value that's placed on those because the people in power are still coming out of those. Because I can speak, I didn't go to an HBCU. In fact, it was kind of frowned upon to go to an HBCU.
Like, in your family?
In my family, but even in the people that I feel like I was around in college, like, we were very much taught, like, you're trying to get in the top 10. Like, you want to be at the Yales or the Princetons, or in my case, I went to Northwestern, and you know.
You was smart, huh? You was the smart one.
Smart.
But that's the thing. Like it was sort of, nobody specifically said, well, Howard is shit, but there was a sense that what you got at Howard was not going to be what you got at Northwestern. It was not even equal, and it would not be looked at as equal when you were trying to find a job. So for us,
do you think that that's really truth to that?
To a certain degree, if I were working in like corporate world, because like especially like people that like you were going to go on for professional degrees, like, and a lot of my friends went on to get their law degrees at various places and things like that, and they wanted to get into the top universities for law, and there's so much competition because a lot of people are going to college, even though like some of those numbers are sort of changing because of the price of college right now. But to get into, like, we were really taught, like, you go to the, like, try to get in the top 10 school, and you do great there because that's what's going to translate into getting your postgraduate degree from somewhere amazing that's going to get you this high-paying, amazing corporate job, and life is going to be grand.
Right.
So, in that regard, like, that's why the HBCUs kind of fall, like, they lose, I personally think, I don't know the exact numbers, they maybe lose some of those top-tier talent because we're trying to get into Harvard, and we're trying to go to, you know, some of the top level schools in this country, and they're not really looked at as the strongest. Are they strong as black universities that have done wonderful things over the years? Absolutely, but I wonder, because I've thought about it since before reading the story, actually, like how much, because Morris Brown in Atlanta and stuff was having major financial trouble and like losing accreditation and stuff like that, and I was like, is it really necessary anymore?
Well, here's the thing though, statistically though, HBCUs still produce top black professionals. For example, 70% of America's black doctors have a degree from an HBCU, 35% of black lawyers and 50% of black engineers and teachers are all HBCU alumni. So, I mean, it's still working. And You know, I think, yeah, I agree with the millennial that it's a changing thing, but I just don't want to see HBCUs go out like dinosaurs.
I just don't see how they can't.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
But what could they do differently to...
Well, because I just, they don't have the power behind them the way that some of these other universities do. And it's weird and it sucks, but it's about money.
But what
But
if
if
it
you
was
have a
to
child,
integrate
would you
more-
let your child go to an HBCU? Actually, this is a question for both of you because there are plenty of non-African Americans that attend HBCUs.
If I went to an HB, I wish I went to an HB. I would have got my entire life. I don't even tell you that.
Jesse would be a whole nother
I
person.
sure would. I would
other
not be a
person.
Black Hollywood Live. I would have been pregnant down in Atlanta somewhere. I'm just
You're so crazy.
pregnant in
You said
Atlanta
pregnant in
kidding.
Atlanta.
It's a total joke. Mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But no, what I was just
Yeah.
going to say to that is maybe if they did kind of integrate more, did it make it like... I don't know if they integrated more cultures into the HBCU, but kept the criteria focused.
Well, it's not like they say like anybody can apply to an HBCU.
Well, yeah, that's what they're
Black, white, or
saying.
whatever.
That's kind of
or even
known.
scholarships. They say that
They give scholarships
They give
to other
scholarships
people
to lots of different
to
people
try to
who
keep
send.
it-
Part of my gowns.
Yeah, you
got
could have
in
gotten a
Yes.
Greek scholarship
I'm so
to
irritated.
Howard, by the way.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Native American.
Rachel
I grew up with
Dolezal
natives.
got one.
I wanted to be Native
Let's keep it
American
real.
so bad because
Yeah.
they get the best scholarships.
Well, you know what, everybody? I know we all, support a lot of universities, but also support your HBCUs because there
Well,
is.
and part of that is the alumni responsibility.
Very
Like,
true.
'cause- and I know it's a stereotype, but there is the stereotype that Black folks, once they make it, aren't so great about giving back and coming back to their communities, and that doesn't apply to everybody. I said it was a stereotype.
Right.
But if that stereotype is starting to manifest a little bit truth with these HBCUs, the alumni that are succeeding and doing amazing things have to be a part of the process of keeping the money flowing to these schools and encouraging recruitment.
That's
because
true.
that's the only way that it's going to stay alive.
That's true.
Because they are business, guys. These are private universities.
That's very true. Well,
a
you know what?
business.
If you guys have some suggestions on how HBCUs can continue to flourish and do great things, let us know. Tweet us.
Leave it in the buzzer meter
Leave it in the
question,
buzzer
too.
meter question.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know on YouTube. Go to iTunes and give us a comment about it because we really want to know. I mean, maybe we could help solve this
Call
problem.
Derrial.
Call
Derrial with your
Call
solutions.
Derrial. Yes, exactly.
555.
You could call me, actually. I don't mind. All right, Courtney, where can fans find you?
Your girlfriend might. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stuart Starlet.
Jesse, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Jesse J.
And you can find me at Derrial Christon on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for tuning in today. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.